In the heart of an unforgiving desert, a river gave birth to one of the greatest civilizations in history. This is the Nile, the vital artery whose annual floods transformed the sterile sand into fertile black land, Kemet, as its people called it. From this gift, everything flourished. The awakening of gods and pharaohs. Before the pharaohs, before the pyramids, there were scattered tribes, divided kingdoms, Upper and Lower Egypt. History tells us of a warrior king, Narmer, who around 3100 BC unified these two lands with strength and vision. The first dynasty was born, and with it an idea that would define Egypt for 3 millennia. The pharaoh was not just a king. He was a god on earth, the bridge between humanity and the divine pantheon. The gods were omnipresent: Ra, the life-giving sun; Osiris, the lord of the underworld; Isis, the magical mother. And it was the pharaoh's duty to uphold Ma'at, the cosmic order, truth, and justice, to ensure the prosperity of his people and the very continuation of creation. The Age of Builders. With power centralized in the divine figure of the pharaoh, Egypt entered its most ambitious era, the Old Kingdom, an age defined by one obsession: eternity. To secure their journey into the afterlife, the pharaohs needed tombs that would last forever. It began with mud-brick mastabas, but the vision of a genius architect named Imhotep would change the world. For his king, Djoser, he stacked mastabas one on top of the other, creating the first monumental stone structure in history, the Step Pyramid. The seed had been planted. Generations later, the pharaohs of the 4th dynasty, Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure, would perfect this vision at Giza, erecting monuments so flawless they would defy the millennia. And who raised these monuments? Contrary to the ancient legend that they were built by slaves, archaeology now tells us a different story. They were tens of thousands of Egyptian workers, a national workforce of skilled artisans and farmers who served their pharaoh during the Nile's flooding season. They were well-fed, received medical care, and at the end of their lives were given the honor of being buried in the shadow of the very marvels they helped create. They moved millions of stone blocks with a precision that still puzzles us today. After periods of instability, the New Kingdom arose, and with it, a new golden age. Pharaohs like Hatshepsut, the woman who ruled as king, and Ramesses the Great, the master builder, expanded the empire's borders and erected colossal temples at Karnak and Luxor, veritable cities for the gods. The whispers of eternity. For the Egyptians, death was not the end, but a transition. It was the beginning of a perilous journey through the underworld, the Duat, which would culminate in the final judgment. To survive, the physical body, or Khat, had to be preserved. Thus, the art of mummification was born, a ritualistic and complex process that lasted 70 days. Priests removed the internal organs, dehydrated the body with natron salt, and wrapped it in hundreds of meters of linen, inserting magical amulets for protection. The heart, considered the center of intelligence and memory, was left in place. It was the heart that would be weighed on the scales of justice against the feather of Ma'at. If the heart was lighter, the deceased would reach paradise. If it was heavier, it would be devoured by a terrifying monster. To guide the soul, the walls of the tombs and papyrus scrolls were covered with spells and maps, the Book of the Dead. But even the greatest of civilizations is immune to time. Invasions by Persians, Greeks, and finally the Romans diluted the power of the Pharaohs. The rise of Christianity marked the end of the ancient religion, and the hieroglyphics, the key to their knowledge, fell into oblivion for more than 1,000 years.